Liam Beefy Smith.
Hi Dev, you okay?
I'm okay. Good to see you. Good to see you around one of our shows and just working with you again. So,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, excited to be back. Obviously, great to be around. Obviously, all yourself and every promoter here. To be honest with you, it's great to see every promoter together in the one building on the one table at press conferences. It's refreshing for boxing.
It's surreal. Listen, I've still been following your journey. I've been watching all of your fights. That particular high point of knocking out Chris Eubank Jr. in 4 rounds. Does that feel like the kind of high point of your career so far?
Probably not, because obviously, you know, I've been world champion of Canelo Alvarez, but it was probably a satisfactory one. You know, it was probably one of the best wins, as in, like I said, you know, I've said it numerous times. I was told fight week I couldn't hit Chris. Like, how'd you beat him? You know, did you have to like tough it out, and I said all along, look, I've hit him, the body sparring. I can also hit him in the head, and for me to do it after saying it was great for me to just rub people's nose in it, just basically, you know, all the media, all the reporters learn a lesson. Because he's got a good chin doesn't mean he can't be hurt, and you know, there's been people with better chins than Chris Eubank Jr. knocked out over the years, and you know, it was a good way to just let them know.
And then the rematch, it didn't feel like Liam Smith. It didn't feel like an accurate representation of who you are and everything you stand for. And that, am I right? Yeah,
you know, you're spot on, and obviously, you know, someone who's been around me and seen my career, and you know, it's plain to see. You know what I mean? Like, there's many things I can say to you now where you think, yeah, I agree. Like, you know, how can I do Chris Eubank in 4 rounds in January, not have a war or a fight in between, fight him in the rematch? You know, I'm the best middleweight in the world in January. After the rematch, I should retire. I'm finished. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You know, the performance. I'm trying to say, you know, this is what's hurting me now is reading stuff like, for this fight now, Josh, people commenting, if Smith turns up fit, he wins. I'm like, I should never, that tag should never be put down with me. I've been a great pro over the years with preparation. I've never once turned up like that. Obviously, it's plain to see the issues I had in camp was, hindsight's great. I wish I called the bluff now and never took the rematch, because, you know, I was never going to be ready. But me being me, I thought, I make weight, I'll beat him. I know I can hurt him. I'll beat him, and you know, I love a fight. I'm that type of person. But nobody's paid the price more than me. Boxers didn't pay the price. They got the show they wanted, forcing me into that date. Chris got the win he needed. Nobody's paying a price more than me, and that's what's hurting me a little bit now. People seeing that I should never be tarnished with that brush. A bit of frustration then to take out on Josh Kelly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Look, take out on whoever's next. Whoever's next, it's down to me to prove. I told you I weren't finished.
Was there ever any doubt? Because you know, it wasn't you in there, right? That's kind of the feeling. But was there ever part of you that thought, you know, maybe I'm like on the decline here? No. Maybe I'm on my way out?
No. Like I said, Dev, you've known me long enough now. I'd retired in the ring. I'm a straight shooter. You know, I'm not gonna be nice to someone for the sake of it. I'm not gonna kiss someone's ass for the sake of it, or beat around the bush. I would have retired there and then the ring. I can walk away tomorrow and be happy with boxing. I've been British champion, world champion, Commonwealth champion. I've won 1 million international titles. I've fought, you know, Vegas, Madison Square Garden, Texas, AT&T Stadium. I'm going to fight here at Wembley Stadium.
It's a career to be proud of.
It is, yeah. That's 100%. What I'm saying. You know, when I sit back and without sounding big-headed and sitting there, there's no praise like self-praise, but I have to pinch myself and pat myself on the back when I'm done, because, you know, for someone who set out not to box, the career I've had and the places I've been, the stadiums I've fought at and sold out, Manchester Arena and Echo Arena, I have to think, you know what, you've done well, you've had a good career. So that's for me to do in a couple of years' time. But back to the point, I could have retired tomorrow and I'll be very happy with the career I've had. And I've got 3 brothers who would tell me, Liam, it's time to have a look at yourself now. And not one of them said that to me, because they all know the reasons why.
And you've probably had those conversations with your brothers in the past. You've been part of those conversations.
I have, yeah. Like I said, look, again, as close as we are, and it wouldn't be like, well, you told me, I'm going to tell you. But, you know, we sat down with Paul and said, look, you know, you maybe want to have a think about it now. And again, look, again, we're not going on about Paul and Paul's career. I think Paul was never finished ability-wise. Paul just, I don't know, he lost that fire to maybe get himself fit and in shape. And And we just said, look, you know, have a think about it. And I'm 90% sure now. Well, I'm 100% sure now. My 3 brothers would tell me the same thing. Like, Liam, have a think about it now.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to carry on, it's your decision, but have a think about it. And not one of them said anything like that to me. They're all on the same page as me. They all know the issues I had. They all know, you know, what went on and why they went on. So it's down to me now to prove to people I had been finished.
So the fire right now is driven by proving people wrong? Or becoming world champion?
The fire for this performance is to get people back on board with, no, he's not finished yet. That's the fire for this. Like, whether it was Josh Kelly or anybody else, the fire in my next fight after the rematch was, I've got to prove to people I'm not finished.
Have you got world title ambitions? Is that still...
Definitely, that was always the ambition. I've been world champion. I've made the money I've made or whatever I've made. I'm still in boxing. Like I said, I can retire happy, but I want a challenge to be a 2-time or 2-weight world champion.
You've got Josh Kelly in your way, September 21st, Wembley Stadium. He's a good fighter. He's slick, he's stylish. How do you match up to him?
Yeah, you know, obviously his abilities have spoken for himself since he turned pro. You know, he's unique, he's flashy, he's stylistic, but he is where he is for a reason. He hasn't made that cut up at the top for a reason. He lacks other things. You've been around boxing now, you know you need more than just ability to make it to the top in this game, and it's down to me to exploit them what he hasn't got, and I feel there's a load of things I've got that he hasn't. He obviously feels himself he's got stuff that I haven't, but you know, I know I've got a lot more in the tank and a lot more in there than what Josh Kelly's got.
Is this about deep waters, taking him there?
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's down to me to take him there. You know, his ability can match up there with anybody, but like we've seen with the David Abanesian fight, and you know, I don't think he's mentally the toughest. Yeah, I don't think he's mentally the toughest, Josh. And like I say that with the greatest respect, but I'm here to do a job. He's here to finish my career. I'm here to keep it going. And I think it's a must-win for Josh also. He stepped up once before. He lost, and I think, you know, at 30 years of age now, he's trying to step up again. If he doesn't step up now, he's probably not ready to.
That thing that you said about him not being mentally the toughest, is that based on you watching his career, or is it something that you've sensed from being around him a little bit?
No, it's something I've like, you know, his career. I don't know, is he like pretty boy by name, pretty boy by nature? You know, does he not like... He just see, yeah, I just look at it by what I know. What I know from him, his career, his loss of David Abanesian. You know, I know he had a bit of time out to get his problems right, but you know, I know from amateur stories he pulling out against Russians because he didn't want to fight them and stuff like that in tournaments. I don't think he likes it when it gets tough.
Fancy yourself to stop him?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good prediction for myself. That should be the natural prediction. I think, you know, like I said early on, he's good enough to compete with anyone. I think from my point of view, he'll be very tricky early on, very flashy, but look, you know, the fight got put to me to a 10 rounder for a reason. You know, they asked for 10 rounds for a reason. It's easier to run and dance for 10 than it is for 12. So, you know, it's a 12-round fight, it's at 160, and I feel, you know, after the tricky start, nailing Josh down, once it gets past 6 rounds, I think I'll get to him and I'll stop him.
Final one, Hamza Shiraz is on the card as well.
Yeah.
I've seen your names linked. You know, you're one of the best middleweights in Britain. You probably say you're number one. Yeah. He probably thinks he's number one as well. Yeah. Do you feel there's a bit of a collision course here? Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that was a fight I fancied. It was a fight I probably wanted and thought about more than Josh Kelly. To be totally honest with you, Hamza's made a big name for himself now. Himself, even, you know, look at interviews 12 months ago, and now I feel like Hamza feels he's ready now for, you know, the likes of myself and Chris, who are the middleweights in Britain. Hamza feels and states he's the best middleweight in Britain now, so you can just see the change in Hamza. Like you say, he's got the bit of buzz, the bit of backing now. You know, he's getting the backing off the Saudis, and Frank's talking about him as the best middleweight in the world now. But you know, I like him. He seems a respectful guy, and I think it's a fight that probably is inevitable if we both win on September 21st. Okay, really looking forward to this one. Good to see you again, my friend.
Thank you.